This has to be one of the most boring games ever. Yet, somehow, in just 2 months, Dead Rails has climbed its way to the top 3 most played games in Roblox, even top 1 sometimes. But why? Is it actually that good, or is everyone just mindlessly following the trend? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that.
What do you mean by that?
Unlike most Roblox games, Dead Rails isn't pay to win. Yeah, there are some things you can buy, but nothing completely breaks the game and make you feel like you need to spend money to just keep up.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Well, let's be honest, after the Fish update, where they just designed the game so you kinda need to spend a little Robux, Dead Rails feels like a breath of fresh air. But here's the problem, the game itself, mid. At first, Dead Rails feels new and exciting, you're moving the train, fighting off zombies, trying to reach the final bridge, so cool, right? Except it drags on forever. Most players explore it for an hour at most, then quit because every match takes way too long. You spend most of your time shoveling coal, looting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting. I tried playing it for a couple of times and yeah, I had fun, but it was because of the people I was with, not because of the game itself, and it was nothing special. So tell me, how there are 400,000 players on all of the time, and why so many other games are suddenly copying the exact formula? Even Source RNG is more exciting than this. If you have never played Dead Rails, here's how every single match goes. You spawn with your buddies, you start with a train and a shovel. You kill zombies or original, you sell valuables, get money, buy guns, you dump fuel into the train, you sit in there for 15 minutes straight, you finally reach the end, yay, so exciting, the end. And somehow there are people who play this solo and enjoy it, I don't get it. But here's the weird part, despite all of this, Dead Rails isn't just surviving, it's thriving. Every time I check the player count, it's pulling 400k plus players at all hours of the day. And on top of that, copycat games are popping up everywhere. But why? What's keeping people so hooked? Well, I did some digging and I found out a few reasons why people might actually enjoy this game. First off, it's social. This game is way more fun. It's less about the gameplay and more about just messing around with your buddies and barely surviving. Just think about it, how many mid-tier games have you played and they were fun just because of the people you were with? Second of all, it's beginner friendly. Unlike a lot of survival games, Dead Rails doesn't throw a million mechanics at you and you don't need a PhD in gaming to figure it out. Just hop on the train, grab a gun and survive. And the third reason, which is the most important, people love unlocking stuff. Even if the gameplay is repetitive, some players just enjoy grinding the bounds and unlocking new classes to flex, I guess, and get a easier feeling on the next round. Even if the core gameplay isn't that crazy, as long as there is something to work towards, people are just coming back. But the real question is, how long will this last? If history has taught us anything right, trendy games doesn't last forever. Remember Frontlines looked insane, played well, but where is it now? What about Arcane Odyssey? Huge hype at the launch, but the player count slowly faded. And now we are gonna see the exact same cycle with Dead Rails. Right now the game is in its prime. Every major Roblox YouTuber has discovered it, new players are still jumping into it, and the hype is still alive. But give it a couple of months and things might look a little different. What could save Dead Rails? If the devs want this game to last, they need to fix a couple of core problems. More variety in gameplay. Right now every match feels the same. They need new events, challenges, maybe even new types of trains with unique mechanics. Shorter and more intense sessions, a single match drags on too long. If they trim the time down or added more action-packed moments, it would make people more engaged. Better endgame content. Once you have unlocked the classes, what's left? They need rare loot, leaderboards, or even different endings. If they pull that off, Dead Rails might actually stay relevant. But if they don't, expect to see it fade away just like every other overhyped Roblox game. At the end of the day, Dead Rails isn't bad, but it's definitely overrated. It's just a fun game to mess around with friends, but let's be real, it's not worth the insane player count it has right now. The real test? Seeing if people are still gonna play it in 6 months. So what do you think? Is Dead Rails here to stay, or is just another overhyped trend that it's gonna die off? Let me know in the comments.